Exploration drilling is a process used in the mining, oil and gas, and geothermal industries to investigate subsurface conditions. So we don't only apply it in the mining industry, but we also can apply it in other industries, as our example is the oil and gas industry and also geothermal industry. Normally, the reason why we engage in exploration drilling is because we want to investigate the subsurface, the condition of the subsurface, to get information that will help us make critical decisions. Okay, so that is the main reason why we engage in exploration drilling. Okay, so what is exploration drilling? Exploration drilling is a process of drilling boreholes in order to explore and evaluate the subsurface for mineral resources. Okay, so we make boreholes. When I say boreholes, it means we make holes into the earth formation, and we take samples of the earth formation, take it to the lab and make analysis of it. And we study the rock structure. We also study the lithology or the mineralization within the rock structure. And these information are obtained from the samples that we take and we analyze them. Okay. Now, we must also understand that exploration plays a crucial role in the early stages of prospecting and exploration. I already informed you about the various stages in mining. We have prospecting, exploration, we have development, exploitation, then closure. So for the first two stages of mining, which is prospecting and exploration, exploration drilling is very crucial in these stages of mining. And even in the developmental stage of mining, we still do some exploration drilling, because once we are doing development, we still need to explore that areas in order to be sure that those areas are not having some minerals, or either we find out either those areas are having some minerals that can be developed for mining or extraction. Now, the main objective of exploration drilling is to obtain information about the characteristics and composition of subsurface rock formations. We want to get information of the subsurface. The reason is that we as human beings, we are staying on the surface of the earth, and we want to be able to get proper information of the subsurface in order to make accurate decisions. Okay, because mining is capital intensive. We don't want to just out of the blue make decisions without having accurate information. Okay, so we engage in exploration drilling, obtain samples through this exploration drilling, take it to the lab, analyze it, and get the right information we need to make the right decisions. Okay, so the reason why we engage in exploration drilling is to obtain the information we need. That is describing, that is showing us the characteristics and the composition of the subsurface of the rock formations. We can either get the depth of the rock formation that we need, or the target area. We can also look at the thickness. Sometimes you can even look at the boundaries, or the boundaries of the ore body we are dealing with, the structure of the ore body. We can also look at the lithology, the mineralization, and also the geophysical properties of the ore body. Okay, and how do we get this information? We can get this information through the exploration drilling that we are going to undertake. Now, there are several different drilling methods and equipment that can be used in exploration drilling, and the selection is dependent on the type of rock formation. If we are going to engage in exploration project or program. But first of all, we need to sit down and plan. And our planning will be based on number one, what will be the purpose of our exploration project? What do you want to achieve? Maybe we would just want to have a prospecting project, okay? Or we just want to have a deeper exploration. We want to explore deeper of the ore body, or we just want to have a great control of the ore body, or we just want to have a simple understanding of how the ore body behave. Okay, so this might be our objective for the exploration dwelling. Now, with this objective, we now have to uh, look at the existing information concerning the area we are dealing with. Let's say we can look at the thickness and the hardness of the rock formation. When we get all this information, that is when we are now going to decide, with the information we have at hand, what would be the best method for us to apply to achieve our results. Okay, so with the drilling method we can apply, it will be based on the type of rock formation we are dealing with, or the depth we want to go, or the thickness of the target zone, or even the objective we have concerning the project we are undertaking. Okay, so it's very, very important that we take that into consideration. Now, the most common drilling methods used in exploration drilling include diamond drilling. We have several drilling methods, but the one which is mostly found on the market or in the industry is diamond drilling or reverse. We also have the RC drilling, and we also have rotary drilling. Okay, so as time goes on, as we are going, we will talk about them one by one. Now let's look at exploration drilling history, a little history about exploration drilling. With the invention of the corbett, which was invented by Rudolf Felix Schott, it marked a significant turning point in the history of mineral exploration, as it allowed for the efficient and effective collection of subsurface samples. In the early days, when they were doing exploration, most of the time, because of the lack of proper equipment, normally most of the work they were doing was manual, just labor intensive. And so they couldn't do much because of the lack of technology or equipment that they was in the absent in the industry. So geologists were only involved in the analysis of outcrops, okay? And those who also wanted to go deeper within the crust were just digging few meters from the surface, okay? So that was manual kind of work, and they couldn't achieve much because in today's mining or exploration projects, we can go as deeper as 500 meters below the earth, below the surface. We can even go as deeper as 1,000 meters below the surface. There's no way a human being can manually take 1,000 meters below the surface. It will take technology or better equipment for us to achieve that. Okay, so the advent or the invention of the pulpit actually brought a significant turning point in the history of mineral exploration, which has actually brought a lot of investment people who saw the turning point as a good avenue for them to also explore in that area. It brought in more capital for people to advance in the in this industry. Decades following, you see that because the drill bit and even new equipment has come on board, or new technologies has come on board, it has given even diamond drilling the power to even continue to even be more vibrant in the industry with the advent of PDC, which is a type of diamond drilling bit, which was invented in the year 1970s. It has become a notable example. People seeing how it is functioning and the kind of results it gives. I think it has become a standard for other exploration drilling programs to also follow. With the advent whereby people were going with doing exploring with manual kind of work, or just focusing on outcrops which are just found on the surface. Now people can now think of going deeper within the crust, within the earth crust. And it's not any difficult thing because of the advent of new technologies like the diamond drilling rig that has come on board. Okay, so with these technologies, it has made it easier for people to now invest more in exploration drilling. Now, let's look at exploration program. Exploration program. Before we will start anything, we need to draw a program for it. But we need to, I want us to go through what the exploration program is all about. So core drilling is a common technique which is used in the exploration programs. With the core drilling, what we are dealing with, we drill holes into the crust, then obtain core samples. The core samples is just solid samples of the rock formation. You see, we take these cylindrical rock samples to the lab and be able to properly analyze it. So because it is an intact rock which has not been disturbed, we can analyze it properly to know the mineralization content, the mineral content. We can also know the rock structure and the rock type, the lithology. We can know these things without any disturbance. The only type of disturbance we might face is when it undergoes kind of some kind of fracturing, when it breaks into pieces. But when we are able to do a proper core sampling, we can get a very good core samples. Okay, that will help us to achieve our information that we are preparing or we are seeking from the exploration drilling. So core drilling is used in a variety of exploration programs, including mineral exploration. We have already talked about that. Oil and gas exploration and geothermal exploration, energy exploration. In mineral exploration, core drilling is used to identify and quantify the presence of various minerals such as gold, silver, and copper in the subsurface. Okay, so when we take core drilling samples, we are able to analyze it and also identify the mineral of interest that we are searching for. Okay, it gives us a hint that the ore body that we are dealing with contains this kind of mineral of interest. So we are able to even determine the grade or the quantity of minerals within the ore body. We can also know even the volume, the tonnage of material we are dealing with. We can know the shape, the boundaries of the ore body. We can know all these things through exploration drilling. Now, when we apply core drilling in oil and gas, it can help us to determine the presence and the characteristics of hydrocarbon reservoirs. Okay, when we apply it in the oil and gas industry, it helps us to determine the presence and the characteristics of hydrocarbon reservoirs. And in the geothermal energy industry, core drilling is used to assess the potential for geothermal energy production. Geothermal is we finding sources of heat within the crust, which can be harnessed to generate energy for us. So geothermal, that is energy. Geo means earth, and energy is thermal is heat. So we finding sources of heat, enough heat that can be generated into energy for us. Okay, so we can achieve this kind of resource by the use of exploration drilling. There are sometimes where you are dealing with drilling, you can come across certain areas that is producing enough of it. Already, we should understand that within the earth crust, there is enough heat within the earth crust. Okay, when you look at the earth crust is divided into several layers. We have the outer layer, We have the middle layer, and we also have the inner layer. The inner layer is what we call the core, the earth core, where within all these layers, there are heat energy that is within these layers, but where there is enough heat that is stored is within the core, that is the center of the earth. At this particular point, even rocks get to be melted because the heat energy in this region is very high. So the rocks within there is where rocks get melted and they are pushed through fractures and pushed to the surface, and they come as volcanoes. Okay, so we can harness this kind of energy and turn them into energy for consumption in our various cities.